Hey, what's up guys? Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today is going to be Evil Eye. So without further ado, let's get into it. So basically the whole point of this deck is to get Sergio on the field and equip it with your Evil Eye of Selene. So we have ways in this deck to search out your Selene, and then we have like a bunch of other tech options. This deck basically just revolves around that one combo, and then it has a bunch of other cards to protect it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So of course, 3 copies of Sergio Watcher of the Evil Eye. This card is actually really good. When this card is normal summoned, add 1 Evil Eye card from your deck to your hand, except Sergio Watcher of the Evil Eye, which means you can add your Evil Eye of Selene super easily. So then if this card is equipped with Evil Eye of Selene, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and then it's a hard once per turn on its effect, then once per turn during the standby phase, destroy one card you control. So it doesn't really matter if you destroy your own cards, because a lot of the times you can just set a card to stall out, because this deck is majority spell and trap cards, so you could just set one card as the destruction fodder. Then I play 1 copy of Medusa Watcher of the Evil Eye. Since we don't have that many monsters here, this basically allows you to renew your monsters. Target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, is your Evil Eye effect, and then target 1 Evil Eye in your graveyard except Medusa, and add it to your hand. So you don't have a ton of Evil Eye monsters in this deck, so either way, I'll play one of this, just so that you have some Xyz plays, but other than that, 1 copy isn't that bad. I played 3 copies of Basilisk, Familiar of the Evil Eye, just because if you control an Evil Eye monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon it once per turn. During your main phase, you can send 1 Evil Eye spell or trap from your deck to your graveyard, and yeah, that's its effect. And it's a hard once per turn as well, and that's it for the Evil Eye monsters. That's basically it for the monsters. It's a very low monster lineup, but all your Evil Eye cards revolve around your spell cards and trap cards, and so it doesn't really matter if you run a low count. And then I play 3 copies of Effect Veiler, 3 copies of Ash, and the Gamma driver package. So yeah, this hand trap lineup is pretty good. You don't really have to run any other hand traps, like maybe Droll Lockbird, some Nibiru maybe, but this format isn't like hyper combo. Like a lot of the decks are just control decks like dinos and stuff, and they will summon a lot, so Nibiru wouldn't be a bad option for this. So that is it for the monsters and the hand traps. Moving on to the spells, we have a lot of spells. Evil Eye Domain, this is your field spell. Add 1 Evil Eye monster from your deck to your hand once per turn during damage calculation. If your Evil Eye monster is attacked while an Evil Eye of Selene is in your spell and trap card zone, you can make the battle damage you take from this battle also inflicted to your opponent. So basically, it evens out the damage and your opponent takes it too. And especially since you can beef up your Sergio with Selene, it doesn't really matter if you take the damage as well. Then I play 1 Terraforming to help search out your domain. And of course, the most important piece of the deck, Triple Evil Eye of Selene. This card, it is really good, and it has a mouthful of text. Equip only to an Evil Eye monster. It cannot be destroyed by battle or with your opponent's card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Each time you activate the equipped monster's effect, you can activate another Evil Eye spell or trap card. And basically, this card can renew itself by banishing Evil Eye spells and traps from the graveyard. I don't run a ton of them because none of them are super good, but you can actually send them with Basilisk, Familiar of the Evil Eye, so that is really good. And then I play 1 Evil Eye of Gorgonio. you can only equip to an Evil Eye monster. This card's name becomes Evil Eye of Selene, which is really good. While this card is in your spell or trap card zone, while your life points are lower than your opponent's, the equipped monster gains attack equal to the difference. And then you can banish this card and discard one Evil Eye card from your hand, and add one Evil Eye spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, except for Gorgono. So this card is definitely a good one of. You might want to bump it up to 2, maybe take out one of the super polys, but yeah, it is pretty good. I played 2 copies of Left Arm Offering because even though it has a huge cost, it's worth it to be able to get to your Selene. You do have a lot of other ways of searching it out, so this is just a last ditch effort in case you have like a Surzeal in your hand. You can normal summon it and be able to use your Left Arm Offering. So this card, really good. Next for the Evil Eye card spells, I play one Evil Eye Repose. You can banish one Evil Eye card from your graveyard, draw 1 card, and then once per turn after damage calculation, if your Evil Eye monster equipped with an Evil Eye of Selene is attacked this turn and your spell or trap card zone is destroyed by a card effect, you can target up to 3 of your banished Evil Eye cards and return them to the graveyard, which means you can return your spell cards, which are banished with Selene to revive it, and your monsters, which get banished based off of card effects. So that is really good. You could bump this up to 2, but I feel like it's a good one of. I played 2 copies of Evil Eye Confrontation, so really the only reason I play this, it's like a worse Cosmic Cyclone. But the only reason I play this is because it's just another Evil Eye spell or trap that I can use to revive Selene. So I play 2 copies of that. Then I played 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. You can run Pot of Desires, but I felt like it was too much of a risk that you would either get rid of too many of your Evil Eye of Selene or too many of your Surzeal. So I play Pot of Extravagance because your extra deck is pretty much just fodder. At this point, you can use some of your cards in your extra deck, but it's not suggested because this deck really only revolves around the main deck. So triple Pot of Extravagance. Again, you can run Desires, but I like Extravagance better. 2 Pot of Duality because you don't really special summon in this deck. You actually legit only special summon this, and that's it. So 2 of those. You might want to bump it up to 3 because it's an amazing draw card in this deck. 2 copies of Super Poly because all your monsters are dark. I do run Starving Venom and Mud Dragon in this deck, so you can pretty easily just take your opponent's monsters. Now for the trap cards, I play 2 copies of Evil Eye Retribution. When a spell or trap card is activated while you control an Evil Eye, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. And then if an Evil Eye of Selene is in your spell or trap card zone, this card's activation effect cannot be negated. So if you have Selene, this card becomes spell speed 4, and you can negate your opponent's spells and traps, which is really good. So I played 2 copies of this, and finishing it off, 2 copies of Drowning Mirror Force, because the problem is, since we run such a limited amount of monsters in this deck that we can actually use, this is to protect you just in case you don't have any monsters to go on the field. So it is safe for direct attacks, so that works out really well. And that is it for the main deck. I'd say the main deck is pretty solid. If not, you would want to run some more of your Evil Eye monsters and more of your Evil Eye spells or traps so you can renew Selene as well as activate more Evil Eye effects. Now onto the extra deck. Zurziel, Ruler of the Evil Eye. I only play this because it's in the Evil Eye monster. That's the only reason I play both of these, just because they're Evil Eye monsters. You don't summon them that often, and if anything, you'd want to go into your Nightmare monsters more than you'd want to go into your Evil Eyed extra deck monsters. So I play the Zurziel and I play the Gorgon. These are okay. I really only play them because of the namesake. I play 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and 1 Nightmare Cerberus just because I can, and just because if I don't get them all away with Extrav, I can have the option to summon them out, some good monsters. One Linkuriboh, because you do have Effective Veiler in this deck. You don't use it that often, though. One Mud Dragon of the Swamp, because Super Poly, same with Starving Venom. And to round off the extra deck, one Tornado Dragon, one Abyss Dweller, and one Wind Up Zenmaines. So, of course, Tornado Dragon for just spell and trap card removal, one Abyss Dweller just because it's Abyss Dweller, it's a good card. And then one Wind Up Zenmaines just because it's a generic good card for your level 3 plays. So like if you have your Surzeal on the field and let's say a, a Basilisk, you can summon out an Ash Blossom and overlay. Not exactly a good play, but it's a play that gets you into your Zenmaines. I remember this used to be like the boss monster of my Mishmash deck, and I like destroyed everybody with it, so I'm doing this just for nostalgia's sake. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck profile. This deck actually works pretty well. The only issue I'd have is that, there's not enough monsters and you can brick with too many spells in your hand, but you have enough ways of stalling out and enough ways of searching that you should be fine. So that is it for the deck profile. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know what you thought of it, and let me know if there is anything that you would change about this deck. And I will see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace.